start recording.
I moved mine before. Yeah, okay, there we go.
All right, ready? That's for you, sir. Okay. This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And JP, we're going to go over our rankings that we gave, or our grades we gave to off-season trades and contracts.
Mm-hmm.
We've updated once already, but what we're going to do is go back and basically say how we think they are, because trades are already happening with
Right.
Kyle Klein and Heimberg. So we should get ahead of the game so then we can start a new grading system next. Well, like now, I guess.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
pretty simply. So what we'll do is we'll take the grades that we had for the main manufacturers, and then we will finalize their grade.
Okay.
So basically,
That's what you're saying.
we've given them one semester and then a midterm.
Yeah.
And now or I don't know, like a progress report, a midterm.
Yeah,
and now,
it's kind of, yeah.
and we're in the final grade now. So
Okay.
So here we go. So we're going to start with dynamic discs. So their two notable big pickups were Kona Panis and Ricky Wysocki. But they also had Mason Ford, Valerie Mandujano,
Yep.
and that's about it. But they lost Eric Oakley. And so those are kind of some of the big things with them. I initially gave them our updates on those grades were, I gave them a B, you gave them a B minus. So that was
Okay.
the last grade we gave them. And you know what? I never started the camera. Man, we are so bad at this game. This might just be an
we've never
auto one.
done it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Forget it.
next time, right? Next time.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so this one we will not have video.
Oops.
God,
My
we're
bad.
such ding dongs. I'm a ding dong. So I gave him a B. You gave him a B minus. So do you have any updates on what you think they're?
Oh, boy. Well, it's like individually, I think certain players did better than others, obviously. I think I'm still going to give them the same grade.
Yeah.
Ricky's in the running for player of the year. So I think that's really good. Valerie Mandujano kind of like started hot, fizzled, but she's still kind
She's
of like,
kind of finishing a little hotter now,
yeah.
or finished.
So I think I'm going to give them the same grade as I did like midterms or whatever you want to say.
Okay. And I'll do the same thing with Didi. I'll keep him at a B, and simply because, same reason. But Kona, just we've talked about it over and over. I'm not going to keep harping
Yeah.
on that. Ricky is doing fantastic. Once again, contest for Player of the Year. I would say you could argue that he could be Player of the Year, but most likely it'll be Paul.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll share it again like they did with Paige.
Maybe.
Because that makes sense.
Right.
And
Right.
we'll do it reactionary. We'll give it to one person, and then there'll be a bunch of guff about why one
Yeah.
person didn't get it. And then they'll say, okay, you guys can share it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Exactly.
So I'll keep them at a B. And I think because Mason Ford and Valerie have done so well, better than what their contracts would have suggested,
Yeah.
I think. So there you go. All right. Discmania, you gave him I gave him a C minus, you gave him a C. I would say I'll start. I would say that I am going to stay at a C minus, and I think it's because of you know what? I'm going to go up to a C. And I think it's the reason why I'm going up to a C because Simon. But
But he's not signing.
well, but didn't he get a contract renewal? Was it this year or was it last year?
I don't. Maybe it was last year.
Okay.
I
Well,
know. I'm trying to think. I mean, I kind of like gave him that because Kyle Klein had moved up to Sky Team, and then they signed Cynthia Ricciardi, and I think they renewed Dustin Keegan.
Yeah.
And
Dustin Keegan, in my mind, is a non-factor.
Yeah.
Essentially, Cynthia Ricciardi she's been in contention here and there, but hasn't really turned the pages for
she's still
anybody.
young. She's got time. So
And she's always so serious. Doesn't she always seem so serious?
kind of, yeah.
And then
I
Kyle,
think she has a good huck face.
I don't know if
kind
I've
of.
ever really seen her hawk face.
I don't
I'll have to
know.
look it up afterwards.
Yeah, like, but she seems very very serious out on the court.
stoic.
Yeah.
Is that a good word for
Yeah.
it? And then Kyle Klein. I think Kyle Klein did better than I expected him to do this year,
Okay.
but not great. Like,
Yeah. I think he had a pretty slow start to the season, but he's finished better. I think since like Idlewild, he's kind of turned things around and
Yep.
finished better.
right. So yeah, maybe if Simon doesn't count, I think that we keep him at the C minus
Yeah.
because I don't think they really did much.
I mean, yeah.
Ella's doing pretty well,
Right.
but I think she had signed the year before. Anyway,
I think so too.
There you go. So, and you're keeping it a C?
Yeah.
Okay. So no changes for either of us
No.
on the first two companies already. How about a DGA? So really their big signing was Katrina Allen
Right. And they signed Marweed.
and Marweed.
Yeah.
So Marweed hasn't really done much.
No.
Here.
Yeah. Disappearing act.
Right.
Since moving over.
Right. And DJ, as far as Katrina Allen, like, yes, she just won Throw Pink
Yeah.
and she won Vegas and she won women's, right?
What?
Didn't she win the women's? What was the
Well, she won Idlewild.
Idlewild? That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just went over that. So we had Idlewild. So she's had 3, but she's just been so off the board as well. Like
Yeah.
basically non-existent, not in conversation.
But I mean, I think it's still one of those factors where like you signed Katrina Allen. Like
Right.
that's still big news.
Yep.
Yeah.
But discs haven't, like, as far as the scale being moved for the manufacturer, because kind of this is what the grading was about.
Yeah.
What has she done for DGA?
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, because I don't see any hype behind Katrina Allen.
True.
So
But
is
it's
that
kind of hard for
DGA's
me.
fault or is that?
I don't know. It's kind of hard because like I don't really follow them on like social media. Like it was like her going there didn't like tip me to be like, oh, I should be following DGA or like anything on social media or like pay her closer attention or anything like that.
I was following just simply because of Tyler Brickley.
Yeah.
That was the reason I was following. And I saw maybe 2 videos with her in them.
Yeah.
And I think they're fairly inconsistent with their posting as it is. So we both gave them a B minus.
Okay.
I think we talk about because they lost Nate Bell, but
Matt
they were
Bell.
Matt Bell. Excuse me. Nate Bell lives
Nate
up
Bell,
here. Yeah. They both lost, or they lost Matt Bell. No, yeah, Matt Bell.
Yep.
They lost Matt Bell, but they picked up Marweed and Katrina.
Yep.
So I think when we talked about, like, with Kat and Marweed, was it just the hype of Kat leaving Prodigy when we assumed she never would leave Prodigy? And that's why we gave such good grades.
Yeah.
And when we had regraded to this B minus, because I think we actually upped, I know I upped mine. I'll have to look to see if I can pull the last one up. I think we both upped a little bit, and I don't know if it's deserved at this point. I think I can
Yeah.
probably go back down to a C.
Yeah, I might give him a C plus
Okay.
because I still think the Katrina thing down the road will probably pay dividends a little more
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. So
I know that I think I heard her say they're working probably on another mold coming out
for her.
from her. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know,
So
but I just yeah. I mean, the other thing too is she was competing, but it's like she always had to come back. It's like she was coming from like chase card or third card, and then like moving up the leaderboard that way. So you'd see her, but not as much as other women.
yeah, she didn't have the presence that I assume DGA wanted her to have.
Yeah.
Her social media presence is basically non-existent.
Yeah, no, I think they were trying to have her, work on it a little more. But yeah, it's inconsistent, like you'd said.
Yeah. So I had gone from a C plus to a B minus, and I think I'm just going to go back down to a C. You had stayed you were at a B minus, and you stayed at the B minus.
Yeah, I think I'm going to drop it down to like a C plus.
C plus. Okay.
Yeah,
So
'cause
both of us felt that they did a little worse.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Andrew Marwe definitely probably didn't factor in as much as we thought he would this year either.
Yeah, yeah, I would. Yeah, I would agree. So Discraft, I had them at a B. Oh, so I started out with a B. We both did, and then you had a B minus, and I kept him at a B. I don't know if there's any call to change, because I think Paul has performed about how he should perform. Dickerson has performed about what I expected Dickerson to perform.
Yeah, I mean he got a couple. Well, he got Champions Cup, and then I think he had a couple Silver Series.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good. He's a really good player. He's in contention. I'm trying to think of anything. Who else did Discraft?
Well, they had Callaway, I thought, got an extension.
Oh, yeah.
Hammis got an extension.
Yep.
And Hammis has kind of been nowhere for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, he shows up every once in a while, but
He's played better recently. I think Alexis Mandujano
Yeah.
got a promotion or moved up.
no, she moved from Innova to Discraft. They
No, she
were
was on
both-
Discraft.
I thought they were both on Innova.
No, she was on She was, and then she moved to Discraft, and then they, Valerie and Mason stayed, and then they just moved. Yeah, so she was.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yeah, I think I just keep them the same.
Okay, so you're going to stick with the B minus then?
Yeah.
All right, and then we went to Innova after that, so D minus and a B plus. So I gave her a D minus, so we started out with Innova as I gave him a D plus, you gave him a D, and then we updated. I was a D minus, so I actually went down, and you went to a D plus, so you also went down.
Okay.
No, you went up. So I went down, you went up. I don't see any reason to change what I did. I mean, Heimberg was nothing, so it was just basically Haley King was the only
Yeah,
move
that was
they
the
had.
big move. I mean, they lost a bunch of
That
people.
was
So
the
that's-
big thing with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have any reason to change from a D minus.
I think I'm going to drop back down to a D. And the reason is that Haley King wasn't really on tour a whole lot. So, like, she won the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship, but then just too large of gaps where we didn't see her on tour. Like,
Yeah. Well, and something to be said, on the Pro Tour, she had to get the play in for her spot on the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
And she is a top level player if she's there.
if she's there.
So. Yeah, so I agree. I think that's spot on. So, Prodigy. So, Prodigy, I gave them initially a D, and you gave them initially a C minus. Then we changed both of us to C's.
Okay.
I should probably pull their grade down because
Really?
no, I lied.
Okay.
It all just clicked in my mind because for some reason I was like, what did Kevin Jones do? And then I'm like, wait, Gannon Burr.
Yeah.
I would, in my mind at this point, with what Gannon Burr has done, the pickup, now there's an extension with him because he was on a year by year. I give him probably a C. A B minus.
Yeah.
So from a C to a B minus for me.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Because, I mean, the growth we saw with Gannon, Kevin Jones didn't see a whole lot of them, after the extension, but, like, he's had a couple top 10s here and there, like typical Kevin Jones. Like, he never seemed, like, in contention for anything.
No.
So that's kind of weird. I will say, like, Isaac Robinson played well. Like, I don't think he signed this. Like, he's been with them for a while. Alden Harris is with them for a number of years. He played well. Gavin Babcock played well.
Yeah.
Threw well. So, like, they have, a lot of young guys who are, like, coming up. It'll be interesting to see if they make any moves this offseason.
Yeah, I think they need to, and I think they
need
also
to get
need
a
to get an
female player,
FPO.
yeah.
I think so. You're going to go up to a B minus as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they need to invest into the female pro
Yeah. I mean,
arena.
I think they have a couple European women that I'm not even thinking of.
Ludka.
Leak. Yeah.
Ludka.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she really didn't perform. I mean, there was a couple tournaments that she was here for, and one or two of them she was okay at, but never really in contention.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and Lat 64. So initially, it was a C plus from you, a B minus from me, and we went from a B. So I bumped her up. I bumped up one grade, and you bump up one grade to a B minus. So, Lat 64. Who was their big signing? Why am I?
Kristen Tatar signed an extension.
Tatar. That's right. So I'm gonna push it to an A.
Yeah, I am too.
I mean, just simply because of Tatar.
Domination.
Yeah. Never missing a podium at all.
Right.
Only one DNF where she started a tournament and didn't finish. And battled through an injury and still never came off a podium.
Right.
Amazing.
I'm trying to think of. I think Rebecca Cox got an extension as well. Other than that, yeah. But
She's not a West Side. She's Lat, yeah.
yeah, she's Latitude.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. And Rebecca Cox, I want her to do so good.
Yeah,
She
I do
just
too.
Doesn't.
I know.
You know, I mean, she's not bad, but she just doesn't perform the way that I would assume she would.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully she will one of these days.
One of these days.
All right. Last and certainly not least, this is that weird Infinite. They have their team.
Yeah.
So we went from, sorry. We didn't change. So I was a B minus, or you were a B minus. I was a C plus. And I went to a B minus. You went to a C plus. So we kind of flopped.
Yeah.
I would probably go back down to a C plus for me, because I was really hoping that Oakley would do something, or Gibby would do something.
Yeah.
And I don't think really any of their players tilted the scales in any way, shape, or form. So, for them, other than Double G. And I mean, Heimberg throws some of their stuff, but he's not.
Right. I was gonna think. Didn't Joel Freeman?
No, he's Innova through and through, isn't he?
Maybe.
90% sure Innova through and through. He might throw some of their stuff like Heimberg, but
For some reason, I thought I had signed with. I think he's still. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. So I'm gonna drop it back down to a C, and you were at a C plus, from a B minus to a C plus.
Okay.
No,
Oh yeah, Cole Rodalin signed for them. I forgot about Cole Rodalin. Eric Oakley.
yeah,
Zoe Andike.
yeah.
Oh no, that's 2020. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
I think I'm just gonna keep them the same. Like
Okay.
they just didn't move the needle enough to do much.
No, yeah, none of their players. I mean, they're probably great for them. There's exposure. They get the name on the back,
Yeah.
but not in the way that I'm assuming Infinite wants to see. So
Right.
yeah. So those are our regrades. So we had no change in Dynamic or Discmania. So I gave them a B. JP gave them a B minus for Dynamic, and then Discmania, I gave them a C minus, and JP had them at a C. And DGA we were both at B minuses, and we both changed down. So JP went to a C plus, I went to a C. Discraft was a B and a B minus. I was at a B, and JP was at a B minus, and we changed from, a B and a B minus, so we actually kept them the same. And then with Innova, JP changed from a D plus to a D, and so he lowered his a little bit, and I just stayed at the D minus because I don't think they really made any good choices. Prodigy, we both gave them a better score, so we were both at C's. We both went to B minuses. I think they did a great job with their recruiting and trusting the young crew. I wish that, or I hope that in the years to come, they're going to lock down Gannon and Alden. Because if they can lock those guys down, and Culver Holland too. No, he's Infinite. If they can lock down those young dudes and like good players, they're off and running. I mean, I think they're going to become more of a relevant brand like they were when they in 2012 to 2016 or so. I think they're going to become a lot more relevant again. Latitude 64, A's.
Yeah.
I mean, potentially A plus. Like if they had a notable MPO player. I mean, they got Tam, but if they had a true notable MPO player that took down wins, like if Ricky was still at 64, like
easy,
no brainer. So, and then Infinite, we both took him down. So I went from a B minus to a C, and JP went from a C plus and stayed at a C plus. So there you go. There's our updates. Anything else to add?
No, I'm just excited to see what it comes this off season with moves and contracts and all that fun stuff to do in the off season. Because I don't know, it potentially is going to be shorter just because of the way these Silver Series are going. And
because essentially 2 weeks.
Yeah,
because then Silver Series starts 4 points for next year. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to figure out, like, every year we say there's going to be no Paul Macbeth year.
Right.
And then it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. We've seen 2 moves already with Kyle Klein and Ricky Wysocki. Excuse me. Ricky Wysocki's still staying where he's at. With Calvin Heimberg. So I'm excited to see where everybody else is going. So manufacturer-wise, I think we're going to be able to add Lone Star to our tracker.
Excuse me.
And we might even be able to add Clash to our tracker because I know they want to make some moves here this year.
Right.
So outside of that, I don't know if there's really any other manufacturers that are going to come out swinging hard, but who knows? I mean, who knows? So I know it's not going to be Door Disc because I was going to say, we could give them minis. So if there's any pros out there that want to rep us, we got plenty of minis. Well, for now, we have plenty of minis.
You could do like apparel.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. We could do apparel. I mean, I got plenty of overstock of apparel right now. So not going to be custom, just get you some stuff. Like, and hopefully you're like either double X or a small.
Paid Shoe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'd love to sponsor Paid Shoe. That'd be awesome. But yeah, so I'm just excited. Like it's an exciting time for me. There's not a lot of disc golf, but all the disc golf talk.
Yeah.
With all the people, like how they're moving and the ridiculous amounts of money they're getting for throwing brown pieces of plastic. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then I think it's just going to be also super awesome to see what comes out of the OnlyFans page. But we'll just have to wait for that.
Yes.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
All right. With all that said, keep us on par. Peace.